Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolfe Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? When most of us gringos think about eating Mexican food, we think of foods like shredded beef and bean burritos, homemade cheesy ooey gooey enchiladas, or grilled steak and vegetable fajitas. Those foods, along with tacos, are some of the most popular Mexican-style foods enjoyed in America. But Menudo, the soup, not the band, is a real traditional Mexican soup that most of us Americans have never had before. I've actually tried Menudo before from a local authentic Mexican taco house, and I really enjoyed it. But it's definitely not for everyone. Menudo can be made with or without hominy. I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but most Menudos have two main ingredients, tripe and hominy. Tripe is an everyday table fare for most American dinner tables. And if you've never had or heard of tripe is the lining of an animal's stomach. However, most of the tripe we eat comes from cows. Tripe has a very distinctive flavor and texture, which is why I say Menudo may not be for everyone. Hominy is another ingredient that a lot of people have probably never heard of or tried before in its whole form. What is hominy? Hominy is simply dry maize kernels, also known as corn kernels. The dried maize has been treated in a diluted solution of lye, which lye is used to cure food and make soap. Now, if you've ever had grits, you've had hominy, just in a more processed form. So enough about tripe and hominy. Let's get into this can of Juanita's Hot and Spicy Menudo. This 25-ounce can costs $3.18 at my local Walmart, but I also see them all around in my local grocery stores. If you live in an area that doesn't have a decent Hispanic population, it may be a little harder to find. But as always, Amazon has everything if you want to try it. The picoso on the can simply means hot and spicy. I really apologize to all my Hispanic viewers if I butcher the pronunciation. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you already know I'm not very good at all at pronouncing unfamiliar words. Juanita's Menudo is made with premium, authentic ingredients and is made with the same famous recipe as our famous Menudito. And there's another word I cannot pronounce. More red chili and spices have been added to give it an even hotter touch. Enjoy it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner with oregano, chopped onions, cilantro, and some drops of lime to taste. By the way, I've also heard it's good for hangovers. If it's Juanita's, it's authentic, so savor the flavor of Mexico. Now, authentic Mexican cuisine is easy to prepare. Juanita's Foods offer traditional dishes manufactured with the highest quality ingredients. Enjoy the delicious variety of products from Juanita's Foods with your family. From Juanita's kitchen to yours. The ingredients are very simple. Water, beef tripe, hominy, and seasonings. The way it should be, without any soy proteins or fillers. Thank you, Juanita. There's approximately 3 1-cup servings per can. Per serving, there's 130 calories, 4.5 grams of total fat, 1.5 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 100 milligrams of cholesterol, 1,140 milligrams of sodium, 11 carbohydrates, 3 grams of fiber, 1 gram of sugars, and 12 grams of protein. Now I've actually had this can for a couple months, and it still has a 2+ year best by date, so this will be great for food storage. I like that Juanita put a pull tab for easy opening. I know a lot of other soups now have these, but I wish all canned products had them. That would mean more counter space with no can opener. So here's what it looks like when you first open it up. And it looked a whole lot different than I was expecting. Very thick and gelatinous, which I really like the gelatin and stuff like this. There's also some hard fat or fat and starch combination stuck to the lid as well. I really had to work at getting this Menudo out of the can. Even using a spoon, I really had to put forth some effort. If you weren't hungry when you first open up this can, you're certainly going to work up an appetite while preparing it. You can see here how it's sticking to the spoon too. Definitely not the consistency I thought it would be right out of the can. There was also a good amount of stuff stuck to the bottom of the can. After thoroughly heating up our Menudo, it made a total transformation from a thick and chunky concoction to a soup. It looked and smelled very good. At least to me it did. Like I said, tripe is not for everyone and has a very distinctive smell. It smells exactly like you think a cow's stomach would smell. Earthy. While mixing it around, I was really surprised at the nice balance of tripe and hominy. Most canned soups are all vegetables with very little meat, or some kind of soy protein and meat concoction. This is a really hearty looking soup. My mouth was like a waterfall. I was salivating like a rabid dog waiting to try this. The broth on its own was very delicious and spicy. I tried a piece of the hominy first, and if you've never seen hominy, this is what it looks like, a kernel of corn. That's because it is a kernel of corn, just a dried and cured kernel of corn. But don't expect it to have the taste or texture of corn, because other than it being a kernel of corn, it tastes or feels nothing like corn. FYI, if you ever want to try hominy without menudo, buy a can of hominy, drain it, and lightly saute in butter, salt, and pepper, and it's fantastic. Now I've saved the best for last, the tripe. This is what the inside of the cow's stomach looks like. It looks just like a piece of fat once it's cooked, but when it's raw, it looks like a honeycomb. Flip it over, and there's the outside of the stomach, which kind of looks like a tendon or gristle. But once I bit into it, it's succulent and tender, and it has that very distinctive flavor, which like I said, I like. But tripe is definitely an acquired taste and texture. I had to go in for one more bite of tripe while making a mess and spilling the delicious broth. At this point, I really wish I had taken the time to chop up an onion, cilantro, and lime. It would have made it that much better. But had I done that, I probably would have eaten the whole can. Finally, I went in for a big bite of everything, and I've got to tell you, I was thoroughly enjoying this menudo. The broth alone would have made a shoe taste good. But even with my daily Prilosec, it still gave me the worst heartburn I've had in years. But it was worth it. For $3 and change, this soup is not only a bargain, it's very hearty and delicious. Which is why this Gringo is going to give it an 8 out of 10. If you've never tried menudo, gamble the $3 and give it a try. You might like it. If you'd like to help support the Wolfe Pit, please consider being a patron. You can pledge as little as $1 a month. That's only $12 for the whole year. Or you can pledge more. That's up to you. Either way, every little bit's appreciated and helps me produce more high-quality videos more often for you, the people. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.